This is a Disneyland record from about 1971. Came with a book, and basically what you do is you read the book and listen along with the record, and that helps you read. Should be a nice thing for some folks to do. The Emperor's New Clothes, or The Emperor Wears No Clothes. Either way, it's not a story that they tell very much anymore, because reading stories about naked men to children is probably something they frown upon. And then maybe the book banners will come and demand that they pull it. I noticed the other day lots of loud trucks, more than usual, because it was a day after they announced, Donnie T was getting in trouble. And, they're always a day behind anyway, so they got mad. They heard about what? And they went in their trucks like hornets buzzing around. So what I've done is that I've replaced the Tinkerbell sound with the sound of trucks driving by that are loud, just to make you feel comfortable. I don't want you to get triggered by Disney records and Tinkerbell. I think this fella that you've been following for a few years is the Emperor, and he does not wear clothes. No, sir. He has always been a scumbag. And now he may find that he's going to be in trouble.
This is a Disneyland original little long-playing record, and I am your story reader. I am going to begin now to read the story of The Emperor's New Clothes. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when Tinkerbell rings her little bells like this. Let's begin now. There once lived an emperor who was very fond of clothes. In fact, he was so impressed with how he looked that he spent most of his money on new garments. No matter what he did or where he went, he had special clothes for each occasion. The villagers claimed he had a different coat for every hour of every day. Many strangers traveled through the city where the emperor lived. One day, two scoundrels came into town and claimed they were the finest weavers in the world. They said they could weave a cloth unlike any cloth ever woven before. Not only were the designs and colors remarkably beautiful, but the cloth possessed a special quality. This material became invisible to anyone who was exceedingly stupid or who was unfit for his job. "I must have some of this cloth woven for me right away," said the emperor. "Then I will be able to tell wise men from fools, and I will know who is unfit for the office they hold." The emperor had the weavers set up their looms and gave them all the gold and silk thread they needed. The weavers kept the expensive thread for themselves and pretended to weave the cloth. They worked day and night weaving their imaginary material. Each day they requested more silk and gold thread, none of which was being used on the loom. The emperor was very anxious to see the cloth. However, he remembered what the weavers said. Anyone unfit for his position or exceedingly stupid would not be able to see it. "I know I am a good emperor," he thought, "but it might be best to have someone else look at the material first." He decided to send his wise and capable minister. "Oh my," thought the minister as he gazed at the empty loom. "I see nothing at all." He couldn't let anyone know, or they would think him unfit to be minister. "What beautiful color you've woven," he said. I know the Emperor will be pleased. The next day, the Emperor and several high officials went to see the cloth. The two scoundrels held up their arms and pretended to display the material. I see nothing at all, thought the Emperor to himself. Can I be unfit for my position? I cannot let anyone know. Beautiful, he exclaimed. That design is just what I wanted. The officials couldn't believe their eyes. They couldn't see the cloth either, but echoed the Emperor's praises. You will have to wear new clothes made from this material in the royal procession, they exclaimed. The weavers worked on into the night, pretending to be making new robes for the Emperor. They cut the imaginary cloth and stitched it with a needle that had no thread. In the morning, they declared that the clothes were finished and were ready for the Emperor to wear. The Emperor, followed by all his staff, went to the weavers to view his new clothes. The scoundrels held out their arms as if they were holding a robe and trousers. Try on your new trousers, they begged. You will find them as light as the air. They pretended to fasten the belt and smooth out the wrinkles. It's just beautiful, said the Emperor. Let me have the robe. They helped him on with the imaginary robe and fastened the buttons. Let the procession begin, exclaimed the Emperor. Two chamberlains stooped down as if to pick up the Emperor's train. They could not admit that they saw nothing. The Emperor stopped before a mirror and took an admiring look. Oh my, what a perfect fit, he said. And so the grand procession set out through the city. The Emperor walked proudly under his canopy. The villagers exclaimed of the beautiful robe. They couldn't let it be known they saw nothing. He has nothing on at all, said an honest little child. He isn't wearing anything. The crowd began to repeat it. He has nothing on at all. The Emperor felt very uncomfortable, for he too realized now that he had been swindled.